Howdy. While you are here, your friends, your loved ones, they're halfway across the world, and they're in constant oppression and turmoil and fear from, I think, several governments. Since 2009, there have been 5 assaults, attacks on your friends and your neighbors and your loved ones in Camp Liberty and Camp Ashraf. 5 attacks. And during that period of time, not one person responsible for those attacks has been brought to justice. Not the killers and not the governments who allowed it to happen. This ought not to be. In this latest attack, you all are aware of it, the one that took place in September. There were 42 that survived. Witnesses. I used to be a prosecutor before I was a judge in Texas. And it was just elementary that you talk to the witnesses of a crime. None of these witnesses have been talked to about who committed this crime. Why not? It is an obligation that they be talked to find out who did it. Because you see, this 5th attack is like the other 4. The culprits who came in with machine guns, killing people, assassinating unarmed Iranian dissidents. When they came in, not any of them were held accountable when they left after their massacre of your friends and your neighbors. So not all is well in the world. But we give thanks in this country for you being here and putting up the fight and the resistance against oppression halfway across the world, where your friends and your neighbors and your loved ones are fighting as well. So we thank you in this great land. This fight is not over. It is not going away, even though many governments just wish you would go away. It's not going to happen. We're not going to let it happen. And in this in this latest assault, this is what I think ought to happen. I'll say this to begin with. I've been called a lot of things in my life, but I've never been called a diplomat. So I'm not very diplomatic about what I say. But I think while we're talking to Maliki, when we had the chance, and he comes over here to the United States dragging the sack, wanting to get some more of that American money, we had the chance, and we should have taken it, to look him straight in the eye and say, "Look-a here." That's one word, "look-a here." You turn over those captive hostages that are in the possession of Iraq. You determine who committed this crime. You arrest those people, or there's no American money going to you, Mr. Maliki. And we ought to mean it. And we ought to just stop sending that money over there till those people who committed the crime show up, till those hostages that were kidnapped show up, and that people be held accountable. I think that might actually work. But we can't be bluffing, and we can't just sit down and say, "Oh, let's talk about it." You know, we can't do that. We have to mean what we say. So, stay in the fight for that very important word, liberty. In Tehran today, liberty is just a flame that's barely a flicker because of the oppression of the government. But there will be a day of reckoning. There will be a day when the people of Iran will be able to take their country back. And the sun will rise, and that flame of liberty will burn very brightly, because you will take back your wonderful country and be able to join us in an assembly similar to this, but not in Washington, D.C., but in Tehran. And that's just the way it is. Thank you very much. God bless you.